better, but like everything else, it has to be done the right way.
Northern Idaho, by near Kellogg, Idaho,
and
Wallace, Idaho. Going through this valley with steep mountainsides right in front of us and on the sides of us. We'll be going into Montana not too far ahead. And then we're going to go over to Interstate 15 to get the rest of the way home. Because there's a fire in Oregon, we can't go. We couldn't take the Interstate 84. They got the whole stupid thing closed. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So anyway, it's just a short little clip about Northern Idaho. Riding on Interstate 90 through the hills, headed toward Montana. Okay, that's probably good. Okay, well, I see. I guess this one's recording. I'm recording holding this this camera toward me. Start my story all over again here. Anyway, we left Brian's house on I think it was Wednesday, July 24th, and Wednesday, July 24th, we went over to left there that Wednesday morning, drove through eastern Montana, took the video that showed going through northern Idaho. We're a part of it on Interstate 90. As we were approaching Missoula, Montana, we started to feel a wobble, a driving wobble. So we had to slow way down on Interstate 90 and go slowly into Missoula. Our Garmin GPS took us to a Les Schwab dealer and caught them. It was going on around 8 o'clock at night. They were closing up. 2 guys left, 2 assistant managers left. They were locking up, getting ready to get in their cars and go home. We caught them just in time, and they agreed to check my wobble out, and then they took this picture of the tires coming apart, and so we agreed to buy a set of 4 tires, brand new tires from them, and so they got the tires on, or mostly on, and this storm came up. I mean, a bad storm, wind and rain, and Chris is thinking, geez, it's going to blow in their windows of the store. Fortunately, it didn't. But they had to finish up putting the tires on the wheels and everything using flashlights. Oh, geez, so lots of fun, you know. So, so anyway, they finished up using flashlights, and then we couldn't pay them because the power went out because their terminals were down, no electricity. They didn't have any electricity backup. So we agreed that we would go, and then they would let me know the next day when their power came back on, and I could give them a credit card or whatever to pay for the tires. So, okay. So we left, and it was stormy and rainy, and we tried to find our way to Interstate 90. And every time we tried to find our way in, the Garmin was telling us to go one way, another way. You know, we were going in circles because the trees were down, couldn't go that way. And finally, we got to this one section of Missoula that still had some power, and there's a donut shop or something like that still open. And Crystal went inside and asked, you know, the person working there, how do we get to Interstate 90? So she wrote down the directions to do it, and we followed the written down directions. And our Garmin concurred as we were driving, you know, that we were doing it correctly. And fortunately, that road didn't have any trees down on it, so we were get back on I-90, drive east on 90, clear over to where we connected to Interstate 15. Then we were getting low on fuel. There's a big old long stretch where we didn't see any gas stations, and we were driving all night and came into Idaho Falls. I forget what time it was. Anyway, it was starting to get daylight out. So I only had a quarter of a tank of fuel, and that makes me a little nervous when I only got that much. So we pulled off and got fuel at a Sinclair station, diesel fuel, and a couple of breakfast sandwiches, and then tried to get back on Interstate 15 to continue Pocatello. Well, I missed my on-ramp. Stupid me, I missed the on-ramp. So we were driving through this long stretch, going through part of Idaho Falls to try to get back to 15, to get on the freeway. What an ordeal. Finally got back on Interstate 15. And then at Pocatello, we turned west on Interstate 86, which connects into Interstate 84 by Burley area, and then followed Interstate 84 to the Twin Falls exit, and then headed north on US 93 going towards Sun Valley. And so we finally got home, and it was, you know, like about 24 hours on the friggin' road. We stopped only a couple times to use the bathroom and stuff like that. Tried to get a little cat nap. I never did go to sleep, and I was driving the whole time. Chris doesn't drive that pickup. Ergonomically, it's screwed up. Whoever designed it, just stupid design as far as ergonomic, and Chris can't drive it very well. Oh, anyway, jeez. So we got home. I sat down my recliner and went to sleep, and pretty soon I got was it email, I guess, or a text. Anyway, the Les Schwab Tire Shop in Missoula let me know that they got their power back on. So I called them back, gave them my credit card number, And those tires, they cost almost about $1,300 for the 4 of them. And it was declined. My credit card was declined. There's no reason to have it declined. So, okay. So here, I gave him my debit card number. Unfortunately, we had several $1,000s in the checking account to be able to cover our trip and buying those tires. So that went through. Why the difference? I don't know. So I called the Idaho Central Credit Union and asked them how come my credit card was declined trying to pay tires in Montana. And so I got transferred, of course, to somebody else. And they says, well, it's because it was a fairly large amount and it was out of your normal shopping area, but out of your area. Okay. Even though I bought stuff from China on Temu and Amazon and stuff like that with using a credit card. So they said they would unlock it, because I wanted to order something else from Amazon. So the next day, Friday, I ordered some stuff from on Amazon, and it was declined on Amazon. What the cornbread hell? And by that, it was late enough. Their customer service, and they must have certain hours that are only available because I couldn't get through to anybody. So I called back the next day, Saturday, and they're only open a certain amount of time on Saturday, whatever. Okay, so I told them the sad tale, whoever that answered, and they checked everything. Oh yeah, it should have been released. Your credit card should have been released. And finally it was released. I could use my credit card, so I ordered my stuff on Amazon, and but it still kind of ticked me off that it happened that way. So anyway, finally got the credit card doing, ordered the Amazon stuff. His credit card was opened back up. But what an ordeal. I told my brother Tim, I am not going to go to another reunion, driving up there, going through all the hassle. I'm getting older and I have a handicap. I don't walk well. So getting in and out of pickups and trying to take showers in tubs with no place to hang on to. What an ordeal. I will never do that again. So I told him, if you ever have another reunion up here at your house, I will not be there. I'm not coming. Maybe I'll be dead by then anyway, so, maybe it won't matter. But, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. The only way I would do something like that is if I win the Powerball or Mega Millions or one of those kind of things. And then I would buy a motorhome and tow a car and have the motorhome set up with me with a recliner in it and all the things I need so I don't have to pack, unpack, unload, load, all the crap you got to do if you just take a car or a pickup. And that's the end of my woe is me story about going up to Tim's reunion and traveling through Missoula, getting a flat tire through a storm, and having credits. And life is great, ain't it? All right. I guess we got it all. Let's see if we get audio on this. Okay.